Your home for the best college football coverage in Utah is on the KSL Sports Zone. Ready? It's another Holy War showdown as Kyle Whittingham and the Utes square off against the Cougars in Rice-Eccles Stadium. Your home for the best coverage of the Holy War is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. This is JJ and Alex, presented by G2G Bars on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome on in, everybody. It's JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Alex Curie, Jeremiah Jensen. Oh, JJ, aren't you glad you're not wearing your TV outfit today? That's good.
It's nice, Sam. You see what I'm wearing with pride.
Old school Denver Broncos, like the horse that's blowing the smoke out of his nose.
Yep.
Like you're blowing smoke to your fans about how good your team is this year.
I thought it was snot when I was a kid.
Listen, that would have been a little bit more intimidating. I love it. All right, so we're talking, of course, a lot getting ready this week. JJ, you've covered this rivalry for 20 years.
Yes, sir.
Plus. I've done, I think 2006 was the first time I was on a field with a media credential for Beck to Harline up at Rice-Eccles Stadium. Somebody who's been around the rivalry even longer than both of us. His name is Devin Kaufusi, one of our alum members of the Players Club. What's going on, Devin Kaufusi?
Yo, happy to be on the call.
Look at you, dude. You are so happy to be on. Listen, like every week that we would have you on during the 2 seasons that you were playing, it was like a breakdown of how awesome everything is. There were a handful of losses, of course, over those 2 years to talk about, but Pac-12 championships and Rose Bowl appearances. And you ended your career as a Ute after beginning it as a BYU Cougar. So you're one of those rare guys that's been on both sides of this one. Where's your head in a year now that you've had a couple of years to digest being out of the game and not inside the locker room in either one of these places?
Yeah, it's life outside of balls is extremely different, and so it's kind of like I lose all the aura powers and become a normal, real person. And so it's been really fun though, being the fan on the sideline, and so I'm able to get in some big arguments with my brothers back and forth when it comes to the ball, especially this season with the big Holy War finally coming here this weekend.
What is that dynamic like in your household? There's a lot of people that love this rivalry, and a lot of fans are splitting their homes. But man, at your home, you not just fan, it's like from a fan perspective, but all of you played in this game. How and on different teams. How does that dynamic play out in your household?
I mean, I'd say football, and especially this rivalry, is the whole epitome, I guess, of the Kaufusi household in football. It all kind of comes around this game, especially at my house. You know, my dad starting his coaching career up at the U, and then switching over to BYU, and then all of us attending BYU, and then me leaving. It's been very different. This year it's just been absolutely crazy with the 8-0 run BYU's been having. So it's been really, really exciting to follow them. My brothers let me know all about it, of course. and then with Utah, you know, having their lumps and figuring out their way, it's all coming down to a good matchup.
Let's talk a little bit about that because, you know, watching it from the outside looking in, what are the things you're looking at and you're going, oh my goodness, like, what to you looks so off right now with this Utah team who's lost 4 in a row?
Man, I'd say just in comparison of, you know, having playing through some lumps as well. Sometimes it takes finding a way to win again. Even though the offense is looking different, playbook maybe look different, personnel looks different. You just got to find a way to win. 4 in a row is absolutely tough and so rare. That's happened, but you know what? That's the hand and we're given in the situation we're in. The boys just got to be able to lean on each other, you know, make it about their team and getting a team win together. Honestly, that's all I can really think about.
Yeah, you look at the Utah quarterback situation. I mean, it's pretty tough to ask a true freshman to come in there and do the things that he did. And it's obvious this program really misses Cam Rising. I know you're close with Cam, and you won a lot of games with Cam in the locker room. What are they missing that Cam brought to the table as a quarterback?
I think just the confidence that you get with a vet quarterback. You know, it's such a unique position in all sports, let alone in the sport of football and in college football, the landscape we're in today. And so when you're able to have a vetted quarterback that's won a lot of tough games and that has been in tough situations, you know, has ridden the highs, but, you know, has also persevered through the lows, it just sets a tone and confidence for the rest of the team.
Devin, as you kind of now have seen the outside, like I said, and kind of looking in on this thing, but you have friends who are still on this roster too. How much you communicate with guys who are on the team now, who you've been in that locker room with, and what are they telling you about kind of where the team's head is at right now going into this BYU game?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think, you know, talking with the fellas, it's been a tough couple of weeks, but with the joy of being in the Big 12 conference is seeing BYU again. So although there's been some tough losses, a rival game is the games you're going to remember as a college athlete. You're always going to remember those rivalry games, and you're always going to remember just the atmosphere and definitely the outcome, and it's going to be with you for the rest of your life, that memory as a college athlete.
You mentioned just you grew up in this rivalry, and this game means a lot to your family. When you were growing up, what were the most influential moments in the rivalry? Those moments that really stand out to you that are really burned into your memory.
Oh man, when it comes to the rivalry, I used to do everything I could in my power growing up as a BYU fan to just have BYU win, and so I was there. Some of the earliest memories was I was there for a Harleen as well. I remember praying my guts out with my eyes closed on that play. And
BYU fans have you to thank.
Yes, BYU has to be thanked. Yes, I was bundled up. Like crazy. I was cold as it gets in Rice Eccles. So I remember back to Harleen was huge. Fourth and 18 from Hall to Collie was massive. And then the funny part, though, as all us Kaufusi boys, we're all losers in this holy war, though. Even though we switched from different sides,
that's true.
We're all losers in it, and so even in I think some basketball, I'm trying to think, all of us playing, and then we even laugh even longer because even Britton Covey's beating us in the holy war, and then I've actually joined teams with them, and so that's kind of the funny side of it too. How long the holy war has been around, but. As well as, Vegas Bowl was a big one. I remember being on my mission, and that was my brother's senior year, and hearing the whole Vegas Bowl go down back in 2016, 2017, 15, yeah. So, huge, uncles, cousins have played through. It's really fun for everyone in the state. So everybody knows somebody playing on one side or the other, or has known someone. So it keeps everyone involved, and it keeps the state of Utah alive.
We speak with Connor Pay every week on the BYU side of things, and he was like, look, I have a lot of guys I love up there, which means I hate losing to them more than anything. And I thought, you know what, that probably resonates with a lot of people. And the coaching staffs are so intermingled now too. I would think that people think, oh, it's too friendly now. And I think, no. I think the fact that the two coaching staffs know each other so well and have coached at one other place and have been at the other side, and they know each other very well. Like, to me, that feels like a recipe for, oh, no, we actually want to beat these guys even more because we know them so well.
Yes, I agree with you 100%. It's a lot of ties there, especially coming off a bye week, the extra week to prepare. It's going to be, I think it's going to be one of the better rivalry games that we've seen in a while, especially just because of the absence and the hit and miss over the past couple of years we've had, and as well as just, the rivalry knows each other, and so it's gonna be a good game plan on both sides.
You played recently, so you're qualified to answer my question that I have next. It's about NIL. How does NIL in this new world we live in, and all the transfers and the roster turnover and everything, how does that impact the rivalry? Because it seems like there's so many players each and every year that are just here for a year or they're brand new. How difficult is it to get those guys up to speed? And how difficult was it for you in 2021 for a lot of your teammates who were new to understand how big this game was?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a different looking rivalry, especially with the NIL. And, the reality of a college athlete can, after each season, go to another college. And I remember when we lost, we came down and lost. When I was at Utah, we came down and lost last time we had the Holy War. It was exactly that reason. Just talking about having the guys I've been around or the in-state guys talk about this rivalry because there's a lot of rich history and there's a lot of emotion that goes into the game. And it's tough for the overlapping, out-of-state guys or, just passing through. And so I think with the NIL, it's affected, I think locker room culture a ton and, team unity a ton in college football and moving forward. And so I think the rivalries will also suffer with the NIL, just with the personnel changes year in and year out.
In that same vein, you were in the Utah locker room recently. How is NIL impacting that program and the dynamic in the locker room that you've seen that you can share with us? Do you think it's having a negative or a positive impact on the program's culture, which has always been very well defined under Kyle Whittingham?
Yeah, I think that was the main worry up at Utah, being so culturally rich and unique and strong, was having something like NIL come in and throw the whole culture off. But I think they're just facing anything any other college team is facing, just with problems or blessings with, there's money and there's contracts, and then you got players come in and go in and things being fulfilled. I think it's been a great blessing for guys. As you know, we've seen a lot of injuries go in and out of the program, and so. I think it's still very wild west, but I think some regulations will happen moving forward, and hopefully just bigger and better football comes out of it.
Missed opportunity for a bet between Salt Lake City's mayor Aaron Mendenhall and Provo's mayor Michelle Kaufusi. Big missed opportunity. Yeah. I think the problem with that is that there's not really anybody who's going to be able to talk to your mom about football and be at that level. You know what I mean? She's been around it too long. How much of a football fan is your mom, having a husband for a coach and sons as players her entire life, basically?
Man, honestly, she's a Cougarette, so she honestly loves being the cheerleader, so to say. And my dad likes it too because he doesn't have to hear a second opinion. So my mom's, my mom's always been about the mom side of it, supporting and everything too. She just wants everyone to be safe, knowing how crazy these rivalry games go.
Well, you know who wouldn't be safe if that happened is Mayor Mendenhall.
Oh, yeah.
Because Mayor Kaufusi would absolutely shred Mayor Mendenhall.
Oh, yeah.
I have no doubt about that.
Oh, for sure.
She's tough. We all try to keep up with her. So
my money's on Mayor Kaufusi for sure.
Absolutely.
Me too.
I look at some key matchups in this game as we kind of break down this game a little bit, and you're qualified again to answer this. Utah's defense, I think they played great this year. And I've made that case on the show that, if the offense simply scored 24 points per game, they'd be 7-1 right now. And if they scored 28 points per game, they'd be 8-0. But the offense hasn't done their job. But the Utah defense could have a big factor in the game on Saturday. What does that defense have to do, though? And I'm sure you've watched a lot of BYU as well. What does that Utah defense need to do against that BYU offense that's really playing well right now?
Man, I think it's everyone's executing their assignment, doing their 111s, and then just trusting each other. Big rivalry game. Everyone's going to be playing really hard. So fundamentals, sure tackling we got to see out of the Utah defense. Gang tackling, everyone's swarming there. I'm always super proud of the Utah defense. You're seeing the impressive BYU offense and bounce back they've had from last year has been great to watch as well. I still believe Utah's defense will match up super strong and will come play their guts out for this game. And when it comes down to it, if they can't score, they can't win. And so the Utes got their work cut out. But I love having a defensive game ahead of me up at Rice Eccles especially a rivalry game. So everything's primed for a good time.
Give us your thoughts then. Let's get a quasi prediction from Devin Kaufusi. You've played in this rivalry. You lost in 2021, but you've certainly seen this Utah team bounce back from hardships, and you've also seen them accomplish amazing things. How does Utah perform against BYU hosting them up at Rice Eccles this weekend?
I think it goes down. I think it goes down as 24-21 Utes. That's my prediction.
Okay, write it down, Jeremy. Write it down. We're getting all of our predictions here.
See, the 24 points thing again.
Okay.
If they just scored 24 points, they're going to win.
There it is.
Yes.
Devin, how's life been after football, though? What have you been up to? How have things been?
Man, I've just been trying to stay busy. It's very different. I figured, it's not like I'm a basketball player that got done playing basketball or a tennis player that can, continue to play the sports. I realized I can't go play one-on-one run block in the park with somebody. So
you could, but it'd be kind of weird, right?
It'd be very strange.
Yeah, it'd be kind of weird, kind of strange. But back in Utah, excited for ski season ahead. So I've been able to add that into my winter activities now that I'm not playing ball. Other than that, trying to pick up golf, just like any other washed-up athlete, right? So
there you go. Doing the
good luck with that.
Doing the grown-up thing.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. All right, Devin, we appreciate you taking some minutes here, man. We always love catching up with you and getting the breakdown here. And let's do this more often than just every couple of years when the rivalry fires up, man.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to.
There you go.
Thanks for having me on.
Devin, appreciate
Thanks,
it, man. All right, have fun this weekend. Devin Kaufusi. Utah Ute? Question mark? BYU Cougar? Question mark?
What a strange dynamic, man. It just shows you the last segment we got talking about the coaches on both sides. Look, Devin made a business decision that probably ruffled the feathers in his family, right?
So I remember.
But you got to go do what's best for you.
Yeah.
And the rivalry has created this dynamic, not just with coaching staffs and players, but with families.
Do you remember? So we got Devin on that first year he was on as a Utah player in our players club. He was the very first Utah player that we had. And we were like, this will be interesting. Because he was on that other sideline last year. And there was no question where his loyalty was. It was with Utah immediately. Felt like he was accepted there, loved there immediately, right? And there were some weird feelings from when he left BYU. And I remember when he came on the show and he was like, and we're like, you probably have to get rid of all your BYU stuff. And he goes, no, I actually gave it all away. I have 0 BYU things in my closet. And we were like, wait, really? He goes, I gave it all away.
That's nice Nike stuff.
That's what I said.
I don't know if I'd give it away.
Isn't there some generic?
We all have that stuff in the back of our closet that we say we're going to wear someday again.
Right.
When
generic
we lose the weight.
Heather Gray stuff, just please. But yeah, he was like, I'm all in. I'm all in on Utah. And you know what? Guess who was front and center holding up those Pac-12 championship trophies? Devin Kaufusi, man.
Yeah, he was.
And that's something that he would have never gotten to BYU. And, we do this would you rather all the time. Would you rather win a big
We should have done one with him there.
Pac-12 championship or beat BYU in your rivalry? And I already know his answer.
Yeah.
Getting those rose petals rained down on you at the Pac-12 championship game, after they beat Oregon the first year and then, my goodness, to beat USC the second year. That's it's crazy. It's a weird college football and football in general brings weird travel partners, over the years.
No doubt. And
Strange
you know what?
bedfellows, yes.
Nobody gets into sports to win a game. You get into sports to win a championship. So as big as a rivalry game is, it is just a game.
Yes.
And you want to win a championship. And it's interesting because there is a team this year in this game that has a chance to win a championship.
You know what he does, though? He still says "we" about everything Utah. You know where his loyalties are.
He's still, yeah.
You know where his loyalties are. He hasn't done the whole I've become more of a middle of the road guy.
He's not an objective journalist.
He probably still doesn't have any BYU gear. We'll have to see. His mom has maybe have gifted him some things. So there you go. All right. We'll take a break here. We'll come back. We've got tons more on the program. Our show, as always, brought to you by the good folks at the Doug Smith dealerships in American Fork, Spanish Fork, and now Linden. Kia, Doug Smith Kia in Linden, a brand new shop there. Go check it out. Nobody knows service like Doug, but if it's the Kia, Chevy, Dodge, Subaru, Jeep, Ram, all of it. They'll take care of you at the Doug Smith family of dealerships. Hey, Doug. We'll come back. We've got more to go. When we return, let's have a couple. By the way, at the 5 o'clock hour, top of 5, we're going to go on the other side of things. David Nixon going to join us on the program, former BYU defender and, well, maybe the best-looking current BYU alum on TV, right?
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mr. McCann.
Good hair. Oh, yeah.
Sorry, Spencer and Jerem.
Yeah, but.
Sorry, Blaine Fowler.
It's okay. It's okay. All right. We'll talk to Dave Nixon at 5 o'clock, get his thoughts on this rivalry game. Not that he's probably had to say anything about it this week, right? We've got more to go. Stay with us. 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
Your home for the best college football coverage in Utah is on the KSL Sports Zone. Ready? Kalani Sitake and the Cougars hope to keep their dream season alive as they head north to the Hill for a showdown against the Utes. Your home for the best coverage of the Holy War is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. This is JJ and Alex, presented by G2G Bars on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Okay. So we've all heard the ads now. So we went to the website, all right? And I think that it's pretty interesting because, look, Taylor Randall, when he says, dude, I'm a Utah Ute through and through, he's dead freaking serious, right? And I think that it's kind of interesting because for sure, and I'm looking at it. You did the same thing. We went to it looks normal for me over here, so I'm fine with it. But I've got the guidelines to be to how to rival right, how to do the rivalry right.
What is a rural juror?
Rural juror. How to rivalry right. Okay, how to rival right. The thing is that Shane Reese and Taylor Randall, like, legitimately, there were times that we've followed this rivalry that you could have presidents at the school that kind of did that to the rivalry game.
Yeah.
Right? And that's not the case now. I think Taylor Randall and Shane Reese are legitimately two of the biggest fans that you could find of the two teams that they are the presidents of. Okay? So them doing that ad makes sense. I think we could have done a little bit of a better job, right? I love it. I love the thing. But are we that worried about what's going to be happening? I'm going to go. Okay, so I'm at the rivalright.org. Okay, that's the website where we see these two university presidents kind of coming together on this thing. Okay, how to rival right. Okay, let me give you true or false. True or false? You're rivaling right when you make it personal.
False.
Yeah, false. You can't do that.
Oh, good. I answered it right.
And I don't like you.
You rival right, true or false, when you're being competitive.
True.
Okay, true. Yes, that's the green light. This feels like a bad HR training video, doesn't it? Like,
Let's cut to the point. What can I not do? What's off limits?
Okay, how can
I pour beer on the opposing team's quarterback's family?
Honk. No, that's the one that they have in the HR video where they're all, Bob chose to pour beer on the family next to him that has BYU gear on. Is Bob being A, good employee, B, bad example of how employees should act? And you're like, skip me to the end quiz on this HR situation.
I can't call the other team a swear word that starts with the letter B in a public forum?
True or false, you rival right if you're being rude.
That was a masterpiece of dog shit.
False.
Is it okay to tell the opposing team that they're going to pump your gas someday?
Hey, be rude is all-encompassing, all right? It's the nicest way to say talk poop, yes, all right?
Is it okay to say
We
that
never
you?
gonna lose to them. They so poo-poo.
They so poo-poo. Now, that's actually, I feel like that's in the respectful and competitive.
Where do we? How? This is
Listen.
interesting. This is a tough case.
It's a great. Now, listen. This is what the Supreme Court. This is what they argue about every year. This kind of stuff.
He edited himself.
Okay, so be respectful. Is they so poo-poo respectful? It's not like overly ridiculously disrespectful.
I'm going to say he's rivaling right.
Is he being competitive?
Yes.
Is he keeping it lighthearted?
Yes.
These are all major points as to how they say to rival right.
Tyler Huntley ushering in a new era of the rivalry. Rivaling right.
We never gonna lose to them. They so poo-poo.
They so poo-poo.
Y'all can tweet that.
Y'all can tweet that.
Oh, I did, Tyler. I did.
Isn't that funny when you hear somebody say tweet now? You're like, what is this, 2019?
Oh, Twitter. Remember that?
Tweeting? Excuse you? So now, think about Max Hall. Making it personal, getting toxic, and being rude. He hits all the boxes on how to not rival.
How about Austin Collie?
Now, hold on a minute.
Living right on and off the field. That's the reason they won.
I think it doesn't land really in any category. That one's its own special category.
Oh, I think I think some fans on the Utah side would say that falls on
keeping it. Well, I would not say that's keeping it lighthearted. That's a bit heavy.
suggesting the Lord wants one team to win and the other to lose.
So you got that wasn't keeping it lighthearted. That was very heavy. All right, being competitive, that ticks the boxes, I guess. And then being respectful, that kind of went in a different direction. Have we talked at all? By the way, I'm just saying, I'm bringing it up. Shane Reese and Taylor Randall, like I said, I think the reason that these two schools are in good hands right now is that they have presidents at the top who are sitting in these meetings who are sports fans. That makes a huge difference.
It does.
Does BYU get a $35 million contract for Kevin Young if Shane Reese doesn't sign off on it? No. Does Merrill J. Bateman sign off on a $7 million a year contract for Kevin Young? I only say that because he's the guy who signed my diploma.
You know the answer.
The answer is no. And even Cecil Samuelson, who, by the way, had his foot in both places.
Again, yes.
Yeah. That guy loved sports, though. Mm-hmm. Like, we caught him at everything, right?
He was always there.
Front and center at football
Marion
and basketball
Center,
games.
LaVell
Yes.
Stadium, he was always
he
there.
would go to the bowl games on the road. He would go to the Notre Dame games on the road. He would go to the West Coast Conference at the Orleans Arena. He was there.
I wonder if we went bowling at the Orleans.
There's a Chinese restaurant in the Orleans.
Yeah.
That is actually phenomenal. It's called Ping Pang Pong. I don't love the name of it.
Did you just make that up?
No, I did not. Look it up. Ping Pang Pong. And it's like legit. The ladies
You
do
made
not.
that up.
Actually, you know what? It's in the place next to it. What's it? Gold Coast. It's at Gold Coast. Because we stayed at Gold Coast one year. That's right next to the Orleans. And Ping Pang Pong, phenomenal because it's like, it's not Chinese food if you're for the faint of heart. Okay? This is like the chicken's feet that are like sauteed in soy sauce, that kind of stuff.
It's at the Gold Coast Hotel.
I told
Casino.
you, and it's highly rated, my friend. It's not real cheap either, but I'm telling you. Yeah. Ping Pang Pong. Real Chinese restaurant at the Gold Coast. All right. I got off pace. I just wanted to bring that up. I wanted to bring up.
I think we're all clear now.
That the two,
what it means to rival right.
Right. And I think that we can all take a little poke at again, we all have to do the HR training at every office, and it can get relatively cheesy sometimes, but we know the basics. Okay?
Toughness, sacrifice, and passion.
Those are the things that are part of a big rivalry.
Where does Jalen Glover rank on the rival right scale?
Okay, now hold on. You would get a lot of people who said that it doesn't check the box of being respectful, right? Because of the curse words. Is it competitive? Yes. I would even say that the manner that he said it was pretty lighthearted. It wasn't like a WWE, I'm going to go out there, right? It was like, screw him.
It was a little casual.
Right? Yes. Lighthearted. I'd say lighthearted.
But it was profanity.
It was profanity, so it checks. If you get one of those wrong, you're automatically not rivaling right, okay? One strike and you're out on that one. But I will say, we all know people who've rivaled wrong. What? We've all known
Until this website was launched, I had no idea you could rival any other way.
Hey, I get it. The thing is that I think that right now the rivalry's in a good place. I think this was preemptively like, hey, let's make sure we tell fans. Now, if fans are going to be crap fans, there's no website you can send them to that ends in .org that they're going to give two craps about, right? Am I wrong?
No.
So bad fans are going to be bad fans regardless of the messaging that even their own school will come out and go, hey, you guys, let's be a little bit more respectful, right? You get like the school, you'd have Taylor Randall roll out there and go, hey, Utah fans, like, let's be respectful. People are like, boo, get this guy out of here. You would definitely have that. Same thing. BYU, you're not going to wrangle an entire student section to have them be respectful, lighthearted, and competitive. You can't do it. It's a freaking student section. You think the Muss is playing along with any of those rules? No. But that's kind of what we like, to be honest. Do you think that? I think they're like, exceptions to this are the student section. Like, that's a place where our jurisdiction, we don't have the ability to police that at that level. We will arrest people for doing things that are illegal, but being disrespectful in the rivalry, I can't help you there. Our badges are no good there. Remember that time when it was on one of those movies, like Tombstone maybe, where like whatever sheriff showed up, they just shot that guy, right? They just, oh, he's wearing a sheriff's badge, shoot him, boom, because no respecter of the law, man. Mm-hmm. And I think that there's a level of, I don't know. We try to guess on what it is. There really is there's a 10% of the fans who ruin it for the rest of all of us, because it's the vocal minority of idiots on both sides, right? And I'll be honest, the fan bases of each one of those places actually don't like those 10% that are their fans on that side.
No,
either.
they don't. They're embarrassed by it.
So,
which is why a lot of people, I think, started to want the game to go away, because they were tired of the nonsense that came along with it.
That's interesting you say that. Like, you get embarrassed by how your fans are acting, and then you go, I hate this rivalry. You know why? Because I'm embarrassed by our stupid fans. There has been a lot of that over the years. And that's why we encourage you to take your vitriol to Jazz games and to the Utah Hockey Club. Rivalry right. Rival right, dudes. Come on, man.
Save your energy for a shoey at a Utah Hockey Club.
I'm trying to figure out what other things are. So they're doing a hunger drive, too.
Can you run on the field with suspenders in Rival right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Getting Coach Bear's face. I don't think Bear. You remember how close Bronco came?
I was standing right there.
I mean, he stopped.
And he stared him down for.
He gave it a thought.
Felt like 30 seconds.
Gave
Probably
it a
was
thought.
Only 5, but
he gave it a thought. There was also a guy. You remember the guy that was wearing a barrel?
Yes.
He was also on the field. And I would go, what is this guy doing?
I think that was peak rivalry. What was that? 2012, 13?
No. Oh yeah, when was that? 16? No,
it wasn't that late.
No, because that was Kalani's.
I
bet it was 14.
It was when the fans ran on the field.
Yeah.
The missed field goals.
I think it was 2014. I want to say no, because that was at BYU. Gosh darn it!
It was in 2012.
It was 12? That's how long ago that was?
That was the 2012
Gosh,
game.
You're old, Jeremy. You're like, what are you throwing me into this for? I'm standing under the goalpost when it doinked, but then they got a second chance at it. So weird. Such a weird thing.
I don't remember anything else about that game except
for suspenders.
It was a garbage game, but the last minute was insane.
So
and
crazy.
Then everything that happened after the game ended was just surreal.
JD Falslev with his face on the ground and Utah players and fans in his ears harassing him was, again, peak rivalry.
It was a wild scene, man.
But, there were also people on the field, like, kind of putting some players a little bit in danger. Don't like that.
Well, the whole thing with Bronco and the guy in suspenders was like, that was way over the line.
Bonkers. All right. I wonder what suspenders guy's doing now.
I think his prison sentence is up here shortly.
I'm sure he's selling insurance.
Why insurance?
To BYU
Why
fans?
Why would you do that to insurance salesmen all over the place?
Well, it ain't medical devices,
You need to
but
be
it'll
careful.
do.
You got a son that's got to start driving.
I know.
You have a hard time finding an insurance agent that'll insure you for a good price. Jeez.
All right. What I'm saying is, if you go to the website, they also have a food drive they have going on. See, that's the stuff that also got back to good rivalry time, was like actual good causes. Instead of just couldn't even get in the same room with your coaches to have a good cause because they hated each other so much. Now the schools can have a little bit of a better back and forth. Okay. We'll come back. We got more to go around the corner. And we'll roll out some of what the first college football playoff bracket looks like more at length, and we'll kind of get into some of those things. Plus, what one caller in a sports radio talk show in Boston had to say, really an interesting take on an idea that could happen in the world of the NBA basketball. Could this change the future of what it looks like?
A Southie's going to change it all.
We're going to bring that up next. Stay right here at 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
Your home for the best college football coverage in Utah is on the KSL Sports Zone. Ready? It's another Holy War showdown as Kyle Whittingham and the Utes square off against the Cougars in Rice-Eccles Stadium. Your home for the best coverage of the Holy War is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. This is JJ and Alex, presented by G2G Bars on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back, everybody. JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. It's a Win Ticket Wednesday. You know what that means? We've got tickets to give away. Shocker, right? On a Win Ticket Wednesday. Today, oh my goodness, how about a 5-pack of tickets? A family 5-pack of tickets to the Utah Jazz and the New York Knicks. I was like, what's he playing? And then I forgot. This is the new updated version of John Tesh's classic. Is John Tesh still with us?
Stop.
Oh, okay. I won't do
Don't
that.
you dare.
I won't do that. Of course he is.
The man is a saint.
In a
The
tuxedo.
national treasure.
Caller number 12 right now gets a 5-pack of tickets to see the Jazz take on the Knicks at Delta Center on November 23rd. Oh, yeah. Got a couple weeks of planning on that one, too. 5-pack of tickets. 5 tickets to see the Jazz against the Knicks on November 23rd. 575-ZONE. That's 801-575-ZONE. 801-575-9663 to win that family 5-pack of tickets. 801-575-ZONE. This was a caller... Oh, what station was this on? One of the Boston sports radio talk shows during the week here. They were asking about kind of like some ideas that could freshen up the game of basketball. Of course, it's an embarrassment of riches for Celtics fans right now. They just won the World Championship in the summer, and they're well on their way to being favorites in this year's race. What's going on?
Viewership's down.
Viewership is down?
Ratings are down. People are saying it's just a 3-point contest now.
So that's kind of
bored with it.
That's kind of what they got to, and they had this caller on their on a sports talk show there in Boston who gave his opinion on how to make the game a little bit funner.
Yeah, like basketball is one of the only sports that doesn't have a power play, and I think soccer just put in the blue card where a guy has to go off and it's 10-on-9, and so like we should have a power play where, like, you know, because. Let's say you get a technical, or let's say you get a take foul. You get the one shot, but you're not really rewarded for that, because if you miss it, you don't get the reward for the take foul. You know what I mean? So there should be like a power play where on a take foul, on a technical, you have to play 5-on-4 for 5 seconds or 3 passes.
Or charge. Or what about for an entire possession?
You know,
what if for the entire possession it's 5-on-4?
Yeah. I mean, that might be a little extreme, but I think we should institute power plays where instead of taking the ball out on the side, you commit a foul, the guy goes to the other side of half court, and he can't leave the half court circle until like 3 seconds.
Oh, I love this.
The biggest thing that we rob people of from an entertainment standpoint is you can't fight anymore. We should just bring back like fighting.
So was that caller like Sully from South Boston? Who is that?
No. Here comes the big reveal. The man who wants a power play in basketball in the NBA and had a terrible descriptor of it, by the way. I don't know. It's like 3 seconds with 5 seconds with 5-on-4. That was head coach of the Boston Celtics, Joe Mazzulla.
What?
Yes. That caller that we made sound like he was anonymous is the head freaking coach of the Boston Celtics.
That's Doug from Worcester.
It's Craig from Cambridge. What are your thoughts, Craig? I think a power play in basketball, he would have been laughed out of the dang building, but because it was the head coach of the Celtics on their program, they go, interesting. I love it. I love it. Do you love it? I love it. And they're like, no, you don't. It's a stupid idea.
I'm up fighting. Let's punch him right in the kisser.
That was the other thing is that Missoula goes, well, anything. They took away all the fun, though, and they took away all the fighting. You're like, whoa, settle down. Settle down. So Joe Missoula says, give him a power play in basketball. Plus, then he also takes his credibility down when he says that soccer has a blue card that takes it down to 10 versus 9. Who doesn't know it's called a red card? Who gets the color wrong? The blue card's new? What is it? Hold on. I'm going blue card. Blue card soccer. That's a new thing?
I did a little Googling.
Send a player off the field for 10 minutes. Oh, it's more serious than a yellow card, but less serious than a red card. What are we doing, soccer? A blue card? So penalty box for 10 minutes. Are we seeing this?
It's new. It's brand new.
Brand new.
It was started in February.
Yeah. What they call it? It's not penalty
it's
box.
It's so new that I have no idea.
I've never heard of a blue card.
Seen a blue card.
I don't think it's been implemented either. That would send a player. Yeah, it's been proposed. Okay, if you get 2 blue cards, then you're sent off for the rest of the game. Well, yeah, because if you get 2 yellow cards, you're off for the rest.
Isn't that the whole purpose of the yellow card?
So now we're gonna go different shades here. Let's do the whole dang rainbow.
Now I'm all confused.
Okay. So it's not the penalty box, by the way, that they would send you to if you get the blue card. Did you see what they call it?
The sin bin.
The sin bin. Come on. That sounds like something a bunch of stuff confiscated at BYU.
Oh.
I worked at the MTC for a while, by the way. There's stuff that gets confiscated.
What kind of stuff's in the sin bin at the MTC?
Oh, boy. I'll say this. I talked to a security guy one time. No. There was a full game console that a guy had snuck in. Hid it in the. Don't try to make me old, Jeremy. What was it? Nintendo 64? No, Super Nintendo, because I'm that old. No, it was something along those lines, though. Ceiling tile. That's where they found it. Mm-hmm.
They found a video game console on the ceiling tile at the MTC.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Awesome. The other stuff I can't talk about.
Okay.
All right. We'll take the break. We'll go. More to go around the corner.
I don't even want to know. Thank you for not saying.
97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. When we return, David Nixon is going to join us on the program. Stay right here.